Hey, everybody, this is Tim Lockie, and welcome to Fundrasing.AI Live. I'm your designated liver, and I'm joined today by Judah and Chad from Squark AI. Can't wait to have them introduce themselves and say more about the name and about why they're involved in Fundraising AI Summit. Chad, Judah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Great to be here.
Where are you guys calling in from today?
I'm calling in from Atlanta, Georgia today.
And I'm calling in from Boston, Massachusetts.
All right, that's great. Tell us about Squark AI.
Well, Squark AI is a company that I co-founded several years ago. And Market Holdings, which Chad is the CEO of, acquired last year. And what Squark does is better fundraising needs better predictions. And so it's AI for everyone. Used by previously some of the largest enterprise teams in SaaS, healthcare, gaming, and now exclusively for nonprofits to do things like reduce the cost of donor acquisition, to increase donor lifetime value, to make decisions quantitatively with the data you already have about what donors will do next in their donor journey. It could be how do we acquire net new customers or net new donors, to when will they donate, what will they donate, how much will they donate, will they churn or lapse, will they reactivate, will they do major giving or planned giving, will they do sustained giving, what will their donation value or their lifetime value be over 6, 12, 24, 36, 48 months. What products do you predict, promote? What campaigns do you send? Squark is very early to the world of machine learning and AI. So we started well before the pandemic with this idea that we could democratize data science by providing a very simple browser-based interface for people who had numeracy and quantitative skills, had some knowledge of data, but didn't have the time to learn the underlying, machine learning and algorithms and Python and other software engineering talents it takes to put together a world-class AI platform.
So kind of democratized data in a way.
What's that?
Democratized data in a cloud web app.
So, Squark is data agnostic. So for nonprofits, what we'll do is we'll connect to, either a file that you might have that could be your donor file, agency might have it, the nonprofit might have it, or, a major system like Snowflake or Microsoft's Azure, to other vendors in the nonprofit space like, Salesforce. And what we do is we bring in the data and we improve it. We do a very advanced data cleaning, preparation, and engineering stage that identifies hidden and unknown relationships in the data you already have to improve its predictability when mathematically modeling it. So these are things like binning, flattening, transforming, encoding, using transformers. We've been doing Gen AI stuff since it came out. And even before, there were chat interfaces just for transformers. We take that data and then we build models and eventually surface the best model for your data across many different algorithms, including, stuff you might have run into in business school or in computer science school, all the way to some of the most cutting edge and exotic, AI algorithms that exist on the planet today.
How did you get involved with Fundraising AI?
So we bootstrapped the company, and our customer after DHL and before our third customer, IBM, was one of the market holding brands named Innovair. And we started working with them about 6 years ago. And they've always been a growing customer who, quite honestly, we didn't know exactly what they were doing with it. And once we found out the success and, really loved the team and much rather would support nonprofits than perhaps some other AI or machine learning use cases, we leaned in And now I run AI for market holdings and products, and Chad's my boss. So and I acquired the company.
Amazing.
Pretty cool stuff. And then we take that data, we score list, right? And we push it back to your systems so you can activate on it. And here's the thing, like, we do machine learning and explainability and interpretability. So the concern I heard at Bridge about, bias and, fairness in data, we address that, without, not in a soft way, but with like hard quantitative data. So we can tell you like why exactly, say Chad donates. I can tell you why Chad donates to that particular nonprofit, like what's driving Chad. And I can do that across like the historic data that you have for your donors, overall at a zip code level, at a segment level. And then when we make a prediction on, Chad's going to donate next to rights or advocacy or veteran services, I can identify exactly what in the data you've given me is causing Chad to contribute or donate, or the opposite, to not. And so, it's not just engineering data, connecting the data, engineering data, modeling data, and pushing to other systems. It's explaining the why behind the mathematical scores that we give you for each object we score: donors, products, emails, campaigns. And so it's just like super powerful. I mean, our customers prior to the acquisitions I mentioned, DHL and IBM, they were like the largest companies in the world. And you sort of make a decision, I think, as an entrepreneur. We bootstrapped it, didn't take a lot of venture capital. We self-funded it, customer funded it. What do you want to do with the rest of your life? And I'd certainly, if I'm going to build AI, software, which is what I love to do, and products, I'd love teaming up with a, private 90-year-old company that, created nonprofit fundraising and has billions of data points that no one else in the world has, including like a fully optimized like moat and value chain, from printing and manufacturing in India, China, Virginia, Iowa, Mexico, all the way through, shipping and logistics, through like agency services that include, direct mail, premium package production, through digital services, through fulfillment and cash caging and lockboxing, right back to the charities. So getting to like not just learn about stuff that I love to learn, I didn't know as much about in that full value chain, but also to be able to dial down into like what we've been doing for 6 years for like the largest charities. Like Squark has raised billions of dollars.
Judy,
And
you said
I
something
was
there
under
that,
embargo. I was under embargo for Market Holds Innovator to tell anybody about it for 6 years. So
oh my
now we
gosh,
can talk about it.
that's amazing. Yeah.
Yep. Super cool. Excited to be here.
So I know that you're talking about, and I think that you're on either Monday or Tuesday at 2:30 talking about data to impact. Tell us about that session.
Well, first of all, we're going to keep it understandable and like a pretty high level. We're going to talk about first, what are some of the use cases that you can use predictive and generative AI for immediately, like the same day, if you have the right, technology. And I'm going to then show what the results are compared to what I see as the sort of baseline performance and what everybody is doing in nonprofits compared to what we're doing. And, we're going to share some real life success stories.
That's great.
And I think it's going to be a lot of fun and informative. It's going to be light, and it's not going to be tech heavy. Here's the thing, like, well, Chad knows, me and the team can talk very deeply about AI and machine learning technologies. Ultimately, what helps people is being able to, get the right message in front of the right donor at the right time. And so a lot of what I'll talk about is the sort of use cases and business value behind doing this, as well as how it's, applied from experience.
Yeah. Chad, so if I've got the story right, you bought the company. What did you see in the company that made you think, oh, okay, I want to focus on this impact for the social sector instead of some of the early clients that I think most people would think, we want to go for DHL and Amazon, the others. What was in that decision for you?
Yeah, great question, Tim. Appreciate it. And uh, everyone could see, and I came from the for-profit sector, running marketing services for financial services, insurance, healthcare, et cetera, for years and years. And I joined the nonprofit sector because I want to take a lot of the best practices we have in for-profit marketing and help modernize as well as create greater efficiencies for fundraising for our clients and, of course, nonprofits around the world. There's two big value propositions for Squirt. Not only was it a superior solution as it relates to the machine learning and artificial intelligence and doing predictions, it's a very easy to use solution. So as a SaaS platform, it's what's considered in the low code, no code area. So you don't have to be a data scientist in order to take advantage of Squirt AI. And so not only for internal users against our account teams and our clients, a broad swath of nonprofits can take advantage of this extremely powerful machine learning and artificial intelligence to do these predictions by themselves. And so, since there is a shortage and high cost with data scientists and to build predictive models, we're just trying to make it easy and affordable for everyone to take advantage of AI. And I think that's why we love Fundrasing.AI, is just creating awareness and educating everybody about what's possible and how you can take advantage of it.
Judah, Chad, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thanks for participating in Fundraising AI. Can't wait to see you at the summit. That is next week. And if you have not registered, right there on your screen, you've got the QR code. Grab that and sign up. It is free to you, but it is only free to you because of amazing sponsors that have said this is so important. We want to put this out in the world for as many nonprofit practitioners as will take time out of their busy, overwhelming schedules and come pay attention to some of the most important advancements that are happening in technology. Thanks especially to Giving Tuesday, Virtuous. We really appreciate those partners in this work and for hosting and putting on this event. So one more time, if you have not registered, you're going to be able to see Chad, Judah, and others, over, I think, 70 other speakers for free, and get the recordings long-term for Fundraising AI Summit happening next Monday and Tuesday, not February. Which month is it? Oh, it's September. September 15th and 16th. Thank you. I don't even know what month it is.
One thing I want to add is for attendees who book demos, we're going to be giving away like a $10 Starbucks, or I'm in Boston, Dunkin' Donuts.
Woo!
The first 100. So please make sure to sign up. And I just want to say,
going to sign up right now.
Sign up right now. Though it's in a browser, right? There is an API for everything. It's super scalable, like beyond what you would expect to see in even the enterprise SaaS.
Okay, you just won me over, and I'm sorry to geek out here, but if you've got that means that you can bolt on an MCP using Claude Code, hit that up with Claude Desktop. All of your skip the automations and the N8Ns of the world and hit straight into an MCP on predictive data.
Yeah,
my gosh! Yes, do that.
I was talking about the agents, Tim, on the website. Couple of years ago, I took it off because I thought it was too cutting edge. So I got to put it back. It's actually on there now. But
the MCPs. I'm way more excited about MCPs than agents right now.
Yeah,
probably just because I'm a nerd that way. But yeah,
I will bring that into the discussion the ways that
internally
this gets into some of the more advanced things that in Chad's strategy as the CEO of Market Holdings we're thinking about, and I get to do, running the business unit at Squark, and then also working on his leadership team.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I know I'm nerding out here, but it's just so critical people understand this. The future is not platforms. The future is going to be people vibe coding their own apps with MCPs that go in and grab their own tools from their own data that is everywhere, and your organization becomes the hub instead of a data center being the hub. That is more possible than it's ever been. 3 years from now, that'll be the only way to do it. And that's every time you hear public API, convert that in your head to an MCP and think, I can pull this into anything I do, create golden records and all that. Anyway, sorry, I know that's
exactly it. The idea is all this data out here, we can enable it, and then we can have these AI agents or technologies pick it up. And where there's a lot of hype right now, as you know, is on generative. And for me, having been in this space for, quite some time, to belie my age, it's as if the world skipped over predictive. But if you look at where all the money is made, maybe not all, where it's at, the profit may be made is in predictive, where there's a lot of expenses in generative. So Squark sits in a very special spot that people just don't have in this industry.
Okay, I'm going to push back on that. I'm going to push back on that in a very specific way. And here it is. Oh my gosh, I wish we had 20 more minutes on this conversation. Here's why. Because yes, you're absolutely right. When you look at the tech capacity, predictive is going to create more tech outcomes. But when you look at capacity, you're going to get much further by upskilling your staff on generative, right? And they are different sides of the same coin, because generative is just where they pointed predictive at text functionally, right? Anyway, I'm so sorry. I've got to go.
But it depends on what you're optimizing for. So labor costs, efficiencies, generative. But if we're trying to do like real, we're trying to cut cost, or we're trying to increase lifetime value in a way that reduces the cost of donor acquisition, these guide points in these way paths through predictive yield us even better generative outcomes. So I like the combination of both. So I'll leave you with that.
Exactly. It's an and statement. So love it. Super excited to for Fundraising AI next week. We're happy to be a sponsor and so glad to be part of it, and look forward to continued conversations with you, Tim.
Yeah, this is great. If you have not checked out Squark AI, and I will admit that I have not, and we'll be doing that right after this call, because this is so critical to understand. You need to find these platforms that have APIs that you can get your data and actually recreate high levels of functional distribution within your own organization. So thank you so much. If you have not registered, this and many other conversations like it at Fundraising AI happening next Monday and Tuesday, which is September 15th and 16th. Chad, Judah, thanks so much for joining. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye.